thank you for waking up with Be Sweet, y'all, where we come together to learn how to be sweet to ourselves and to others so we can grow in mind, body, and spirit, so we can make the world a brighter and sweeter place to stay. And not a brighter, and well, we want to stay here. Yeah, but I want to be here, then stay here. Oh, my goodness gracious, the joy of podcasting. But I have Jody back with me again today. And last time I used all these adjectives to describe her. So I'm going to add some other ones like purposeful, driven, hopeful. I still got to put tenacious in there. It really should have been number one. I'm sorry, but tenacious is number one. And of course, God loving, Jesus loving, family loving, friend loving, and what else?
Loyal.
Very, very loyal.
We didn't say that one. That's me.
Yes, it is.
I'm loyal to people, and I expect loyalty. I just remembered one of my favorite books. Okay.
Good. We're going
to talk about that.
And we are. So remember, because that is what we're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to talk a lot because we got so excited about talking about what we were talking about that we didn't get to a lot of the things we wanted to talk about. So we love to read. We are freaks about reading, and I don't ever read a fiction book over. I'm not a fiction. If I read a fiction book, I read it one time. I never read it again.
Yeah.
But nonfiction, I read, like I just told you, off camera. That sounds so fancy. Off camera, that I have read. I'm on my 5th reading of When the Heart Waits by Sue Monk Kidd.
Love it.
It's what made it.
Every time you read it, you get something different.
Oh. I read it just again, and I was looking, I go, I don't remember reading this.
Right.
Remind me to tell you the story about caterpillars and how they do different, they grow at different times. It's so cool, so crazy. So you just were dying to tell me about a book that you read or was one of your favorites. What is that?
Unreasonable Hospitality.
Love it. Jody, I'm going to read that one again, too.
Yes, I've already read it again. He now has a playbook. Do you know he's got a playbook?
I do know he's got a playbook.
I bought it, and it is gorgeous and stunning, and I've started it. Why did you love it so much?
Oh, my God. Because it's how, I don't want to sound cocky. It's kind of how I live my life already.
Right.
But I want to expand it. Right. I want to do more of that. It reinforces to me that if I spend my life without being codependent, I'm not talking about that way. If I spend my life in the service of others and looking at more ways to serve, that my life will just be pressed down, overflowing. Yes. And I believe that with all my heart. Right. And I just love hearing his story. I love hearing him on podcast. He's amazing.
Okay, so really quick. So Unreasonable Hospitality is about a Michelin star restaurant that was one of the top 50, like number 50 in the world. And that wasn't good enough. And he brought his restaurant to number 1 in the world, not by changing the food, but by changing the experience and the hospitality. And the stories are shocking and incredible. And like, I'm crying through the whole thing, and I'm just amazed. And I'm just so into Michelin, like restaurants now. And then he ended up being a co-producer on the show The Bear. And I watched all seasons.
I've got to go back and watch that because I never watched the rest of the seasons.
Well, because now they turn into the Michelin stuff. So you can see so many of the things of Unreasonable Hospitality. But see, that's where you and I are the same, because I love experience. I love being treated amazingly well. And, in the first episode that you and I filmed, this is part 2, we were talking about my success in my business and all that. And that is also part of why we're having so much success right now. Not just because of, 100% because of Jesus, but I have done this whole Unreasonable celebration in my team, and the way that we recognize people. I literally have grown women crying every single month. The community, the celebration, they're like, I've never been so much a part, where they feel the love. They feel it. It's not there's nothing fake about it. It is, and the company, our company is that way. Everything is unreasonable. The products are unreasonable because you don't expect them to be excellent, because nothing is excellent, it seems, these days. We just went to our corporate office and we're flown out there because my daughter got like a major, milestone and awards, and my husband and I got to go and be there with her. And had just gotten the Unreasonable Hospitality Playbook. And I said to, our vice president, I said, the way you treat us here is unreasonable. Like, you live unreasonable hospitality. And that's why they actually got voted like #1 employers, like in the United States too, with all the different things. So, it just trickles down. And I just have this expectation of excellence. And that's why you've been so successful in real estate and so successful in all the things that you've done, and why you and I are friends, because I can't be friends with people that are, in alignment with the same values and things that I hold dear. And the way, and one of the things that I might have talked about this the last time I was on here, one of the things when you and I were newer in our friendship, and when we went to Tallahassee and we went to go see Elizabeth.
Oh my gosh, that was like she would talk forever. And it was like she talked for 30 minutes.
Oh, it was one of the, there's
Oh my
still
gosh.
things from that talk that I will use.
Amazing.
But it wasn't about that. It was the first time that you and I had done anything outside of, fundraising or coffee or lunch or something like that. And I witnessed you loving on total strangers. And I don't know if there was someone that had played or sang or whatever, but you saw somebody in the hall and you stopped her and you just breathed life into her. And you were like, you were so amazing and you were so incredible. And I just want to give you a hug. And I'm like, I love that you are stopping total strangers and that you're doing that, and that the world needs more people like you. So it's like, so you're already unreasonable when it comes to your sweetness and all the different things people.
Oh, what a book. Unreasonable Sweetness. Ooh, give it to me.
Give me credit.
Unreasonable. Oh my gosh,
So
sweetness.
Being one of my favorite books and living it out.
I love that book so much.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm telling my team, we are unreasonable in our celebrating. We are unreasonable in our customer service.
I'm going to get the playbook. I do not have the playbook.
Okay.
I'm going to get the playbook.
You'll love it. It's so well done. And you want to know why he wrote it?
I forgot. I think I remember him saying it on a podcast.
People were coming to book signings or seeing him, and they were bringing these playbooks or these guides or whatever. And he's like, I didn't write that. And they were wanting him to autograph it. But it was all these knockoffs. So all these people were like trying to condense Unreasonable Hospitality. And he goes, and they weren't good. He's like, so my team and I are like, if we're going to produce something, it's going to be, so the book is stunning.
I better check to see if everybody has Unreasonable Sweetness, because that might be the name of my next book.
Okay, check it.
I'll check and see. So that's cool. So I love that. And I knew we were going to talk about books this time, because it's my favorite thing, because books saved my life. You know that about me.
Yeah.
Books saved my life. At 10 years of age, I buried myself in the Bible and Norman Vincent Peale and Zig Ziglar and Booker T. Washington's Up From Slavery, and just every biography and autobiography I could get my hands on of people who had made it in spite of, not because of, and I just love that. That's why it's so important to me to not have a victimhood attitude, but to use everything that has happened to me in my life for the world's benefit, for my benefit, and for God's benefit.
Because God wastes nothing.
But
absolutely. You have to let him use it.
And you have to do it. I mean, I know. I don't
That's why I love you so much. It's because we are those type of people.
I want it to get easier sometime, though. Speaking of which,
I'm going to get easier.
I'm going to say, speak for yourself.
We have seasons of easy.
Speak for yourself, Hildegard. Okay? I don't know. It just sounded like a fun thing to you. Okay. So if you're watching this on YouTube, could you please subscribe? And could review it? Don't like it. Love it. I have only one thing I want you to love it. Share it with your friends. And then go on like Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, any of those other places that you get the podcast. Please download it. Because if you download it, then it will come to you each week. And I think when they download, you can listen to it, but downloads are important. Speaking of which, you know what Ashley told me?
Right.
And it didn't seem like a big deal to me, but she says, I'm on the brink of having 10,000 downloads. And for an independent podcaster like me, that's a really big deal.
Okay.
I didn't know it was a big deal. See,
Well, let's all go download.
I want 1,000,000 of them.
And yeah, like leaving reviews is like one of the simplest things that you can do.
Yeah.
By the way, her book, Joy is My Favorite Color. Even if you buy it in person, go on Amazon and leave a review. I already did because the reviews matter.
They do matter.
I try to do reviews of people like as many times as I can, meaning of anything, any experience I had. Like,
That's an easy I love you.
Anyway, give me a review.
That's an easy I love you.
Yes.
So if you want to do it easy, I love you to me, do that. So that's great. And while I'm doing this, I got to thank some people. Pepsi, Buffalo Rock, I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for believing me, for helping me get my message to make the world a sweeter place. Holiday Beach Mechanical. I am tired of writing y'all checks for my air conditioner because I got a lot of them. But, they don't just do that. They do plumbing, electrical, air conditioning. They do all those things. And they have really fancy, smancy rentals. Have you ever been in one of her rentals, how she decorates? Jody. I know you think I'm a great decorator, which I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I never say I'm great at something, but I'm great at decorating. And you won't hear me say that about many things.
Are
but
they
I feel good.
short-term rentals?
Short-term rentals, and they're fancy.
Okay.
Fancy, and she decorates so beautifully. I love those people. And Team Patriot, something you need to know about them, who is one of my top sponsors, he's going to come in and finally put my house back together pretty soon because he's a full construction company, but he's an inspection company, so we can do all of it.
Okay,
so I'm super excited about that. So let's
I have
talk.
a project I might need to talk to him about.
Oh,
okay.
No, he can do anything. And he's,
Okay.
okay, I'm just going to, his secret weapon is he is a fine human being, Team Patriot. He goes overseas and builds houses for people and helps people.
Oh,
Yeah, he does all that, all mission work. He goes,
love it.
I don't remember where he goes, someplace far off. I'm really bad at details. But so books. Did you read The Calamity Club yet?
Yes.
Did you love it?
Loved it.
Oh, it was so much fun. But
it was one of those that I wanted to fast forward to the end and know what happened.
they were making me nervous, though.
I'm like,
we can't give it away.
I don't know. We can't even say anything to give it away. But I was going to be either really mad or really happy, and I was really happy.
I was really happy too. But one thing that the Calamity Club, and the Calamity Club was written by the same lady, Catherine
Stockard.
Yeah, and we'll link all these books that we're talking about in our podcast. But this is the thing, that book really showed the differences in what was available to women in that time and what was available to men.
Now, listen, I know you read things and you don't listen to Audible, but on Audible, I love the voices and all
I bet.
things. But did you go all the way through and listen, or read the author's notes?
Oh, yeah.
That was I was shocked
at
my
all the
historical stuff that she brought up about the state of Mississippi and the laws and the rules. And it wasn't even that long ago.
Not long ago.
I had no rights. I had no idea that kind of stuff was happening.
And, and it's so
Forced
important.
sterilization.
Forced sterilization. And this is a crazy thing about it, too. I had read some, and I think maybe Lisa Wingate, Before You Were Ours or Before You Were Mine. It's about that. Remember the other home that they talked about? They talked about two women's, orphanages.
Right.
The Tennessee orphanage was a real thing.
Oh, wow.
There's a true story about that in Lisa Wingate's books. But that was a great book, and I read it in one day. I couldn't put it down. I could not put it down. I read it and then read it that night, and I think I finished it this morning. Yeah. But so it's one of my top books. So
yeah, I loved it.
What's another top book that you've read, maybe a fiction book that you've enjoyed this year?
I enjoyed Theo and Gold.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I thought and now I peg the end. Because that's the thing, I start figuring stuff out. I'm like, what's actually going on here? And I had figured that out. I mean,
I kind of started getting a little.
So I wasn't shocked at the end.
Hints about, but
I thought it was such a beautiful story.
I loved, because you know how much I love art. And you know how much I love promoting artists. Like my sweet Katie Hughes. I just love supporting artists. And so, by the way, with free plug, Eye Catcher's artwork, Katie Hughes, she makes earrings. And did the cover. Oh my gosh, how could I not say that? Did the cover of my book. And this is the cool thing about that cover. I didn't even know what she was doing. I just told her the color scheme I wanted,
she
and
did
I wanted a
perfect.
flower, possibly, definitely a butterfly. But I figured if you got a butterfly, you got to have a flower. And she did it. I did not even see it until the end.
I
She
know.
surprised
So
me.
amazing.
People
She's
think that's
so
crazy.
good.
She's so amazing, so good. I think she's my forever illustrator of my books. But so Theo of Golden, I love the fact that he was promoting artists and giving them love. I just love that he was just so philanthropic, but without drawing attention to himself. Love,
Right.
love, loved it. But I had a few people that didn't like it. I won't say her name, but one of my good friends just didn't like it. And I go, how could you not like Theo of Golden? But yeah. So did you read the correspondent yet?
No.
So good.
Okay.
So
Haven't
good.
read that one.
So good.
When someone doesn't like something, like if all of a sudden they were like, I don't like coffee, I'm like, how are we friends?
I know. I'm glad you said that. So I listened to Jen Hatmaker and Tyler the other day, and what we were talking about a while ago is something you don't understand people that don't like something. Oh, I should have written it down. Oh, the bear.
Oh, yeah.
So Tyler and Jen Hatmaker were on their podcast together at the end of Me Camp, and they're talking about the bear, and they both decided that if you don't love the bear, then you can't be my friend.
I mean,
They said,
I'm about up there as well.
yeah, you can't.
You got to see the whole thing through.
We can't be
But yeah.
friends. So I stopped watching it just because life got crazy. So I'm going to go back and let that be the next thing I watch.
Right.
But another thing that Tyler said that's so funny, and I hope this translates on air, they were talking about the Enneagram.
Yeah.
Or he was trying to remind her of the Enneagram. And Tyler said, what's that mystical voodoo white people stuff that y'all talk about with the numbers? And he said, I promise you, you're never going to hear a black man talk about what number are they on the Enneagram scale. He said, that's a white people thing.
That's hilarious.
And that is so funny. I wonder statistically if that's true. But yeah, so they're giving each other heck about that. So that's fun. So I'm going to go back and watch The Bear. So what's another fiction book that because I might find something else I want to read.
I don't have a whole lot of fiction, and I've had to, like this year, I've made myself listen to more fiction because I am always like, just grow, learn. And, and finally I'm like, okay, I need a break from my brain. Always
fiction's my break.
Constantly trying to do that. So I've just, embraced, and I will say this, the fiction has to be excellent.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll start a book and I think it's coming from trauma and things like that. Like the people who loved It Ends With Us, I'm like, whatever.
I mean,
So it was like, I'm like,
it was a good book as far as,
but
it was
thinking that was like the most
No.
amazing thing in the world. I'm like,
No.
you've never been through trauma. You've never been through abuse.
No.
You've never been through whatever. I could have written that and it been better. Now, I didn't write it. It's totally fine. But when it comes to, that's why a lot of fiction to me is just very boring because I like a historical fiction, more than anything. That's why I love the Calamity Club so much, because of it being historically rooted. So we got a lot of that with the story around it. So that, I think that is going to be my favorite kind. But most other, just like writing a story to write a story, I'm not into it.
I don't listen to fiction. I listen to nonfiction because as a supplement to my reading it, but I've never listened to a fiction book in my life and probably never will. I mentioned to you John Acuff, not fiction, but did you read John Acuff's Soundtracks?
Yes.
I loved it.
Yep.
I've read that several times.
Yes, it's in my library.
And you really would enjoy Procrastination. Now that is
I've got it.
Procrastination
Yeah,
Club is fun to listen to.
Yeah, it's good.
Did you listen to it? Wasn't it fun?
So good. Yes.
He is hilarious. He and Jim Hatmaker are probably some of my favorites to listen to. Because they just really get into it and they do little bonus stories in between. I'm going to do that with Joy's my favorite color. When I do the audio, I'm about to do that pretty soon.
Right.
I'm going to do little bonus stories in between about where some of especially the ones during COVID.
Yes.
Because you probably can tell which ones I wrote during COVID when I was
and
terrified.
That's why I like listening. I just listen to all of it on Audible. And if I really love something on Audible, then I'll buy the hard copy book.
Yeah.
That I will do over and over and over because I just love the author notes and the side things that they will put in there that aren't in the traditional book. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you're going to do that because
Yeah.
I think that's going to be
Yeah, definitely doing
really
that.
good.
I'm excited about that. But I'm also the reason I always have the book always is I write in my books. I underline, I write, I highlight. I just, I really
Yeah.
study them. And many times when I'm reading a book, I will hear one line and it will be the birth of an affirmation for me.
Sure.
It'll be birth of a talk for me and
Good.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's what I love. So I know another one I wanted to ask you about.
Well, you know what nonfiction book I read this year that was so good, and I had so many of my team and people read it, which is Level Up by Rob Dial.
Yes.
So
Yes.
good.
That's a good one too. I read that one too.
So good.
Yeah.
And he just takes basically it is the book to level up your life, where he's taking Tony Robbins and
Mhm.
John Maxwell and all the great leaders and things like that, and just compiling all those lessons to level up into one book.
I've got to
That's why
get.
it's so good.
I don't have that one yet. I mean, I've listened to it, but I don't have it yet, so I've got to go get that one. But speaking of which, do you know that our good buddy Andy Stanley wrote a leadership book?
I did not.
He did. He
I
just
do love
did
his
it.
podcast.
He just did it. Took them 10 years to convince him to write a book
Oh,
on
wow.
leadership. Yeah.
Really?
He said the world doesn't need another leadership book. They need more leaders, not another leadership book. So
Yes.
they convinced him to write one. And I haven't read it yet, but I know it's going to be great because I absolutely love him, love him, love him.
Love him. Love Mark Batterson. Love
Love
Craig
Mark.
Rochelle. Love all of them.
I love Craig Rochelle.
Yeah.
His books on your mind, about getting control of your mind,
good.
are amazing. And I'll tell you what I like about him a lot. I love people that are able, and John Maxwell's this way. So was Andy Stanley. I love people who are Christian who don't denigrate or exclude non-Christians. They are
Right.
very careful
Right.
to say, my message is for everyone.
Yes.
Oh gosh, is that Andy Stanley is very clear on that. And he
Yes.
lets you know that. John Maxwell is very clear on that.
Right.
Craig Rochelle is very clear on that because he doesn't want to ever exclude
Yeah.
anyone for this amazing lessons that he gives.
You know one of my favorite books?
What?
John Maxwell's Leadership Bible. Do you know that it took him over 10 years? It's a Bible that has his principles and leadership lessons all through it.
I don't have that one.
And I am in it every single day. So when I
think I remember seeing it.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. So it'll literally be, like Paul in prison. How was he a leader? And it's talking about the leadership lessons we're learning in scripture as well. It's so good. I mean, I'm like, I would have never, I've had it a couple of years, but really gotten into it this year.
Speaking of Bibles, do you remember? I don't even remember there's not. I remember I wanted a new Bible. So we go and I pick a Bible out and I go, this is so cool because it was really big print. It was like, and it was
we were in Barnes and Noble.
But it was a Bible almost for special needs.
No, it actually said for special needs Bible for like third graders or whatever. And we fell out in the middle.
I about wet my pants.
We just
almost bought me a special needs Bible.
Yes.
I
didn't know they made them.
I didn't either, but clearly I loved it.
Karen loved it.
I loved it. When appropriate, buy it. Yeah. So, I do want to, we're going to take a little break from talking about books. I want to ask you something because I do want to talk to you about Tony Robbins in a minute. It's something I believe very strongly, and I want to go to one of his things. Okay. So I want to talk about one of my sponsors, but in a very authentic way. You've been to Ferrucci's before, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And one of the things that you and your daughter, we discussed it on the first one, but not really fully on this one. But one of the changes that you made in your life, which you're such a better mother than me. I'm just like I think I'm a B minus. You're like an A plus.
Stop.
Oh, I'm being honest. I'm a B minus.
Rating you to be a mom.
Well, I know, but
I'm rating yourself.
I'm self-rating myself.
But I am an A plus. I will give that.
Yeah, you are. She's not cocky or anything, y'all, at all. Notice I put confidence.
My children would say the same thing.
I put confidence is one of your number one traits. So there you have it. But so when you found out your child needed to be gluten-free, you went gluten-free too.
Of course.
Okay. I ain't saying of course. If you can't eat pizza, I'm still going to eat pizza. But guess what? Guess what?
What?
You can go to, guess where can you go to get gluten-free pizza?
Ferrucci's.
Ferrucci's right downtown Panama
Yes.
City, just a few doors down from my office and
Yes.
really close to Hugh Salon. And why is Hugh Salon
Oh.
special?
Because they made your hair beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you know that. So yeah, they're so sweet. But she was also one of the very first people that I went and asked to be my sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was scared. I'm kind of timid when it comes to asking for things like that. I'm getting better, but I need to be aware of my value
Yes.
and be more bold in that, to know that I promise you I will always over deliver.
Oh, that is so true.
That is an
I even
understatement.
said that to you. I'm like, do your sponsors realize the value you're bringing, because you are doing so much? Like, you, again, unreasonable sweetness, unreasonable
That's it.
delivery. I'm going to give you so much more than
Yeah, so I
you're
went
over delivering.
So I went to Hugh Salon and I said, listen, another salon has kind of asked me if I'll sponsor them, but I can't because y'all are my people. I'm not, honey, us women would rather change a gynecologist than our
That's so true.
hairdresser.
Yes.
I mean, isn't it true?
Right.
That's true. So I went to her and she said, absolutely. And not only does she do that, whenever I have something that I'm giving away, she gives it to me.
Oh.
I buy it from everybody else. She gives it to me to give away. So Shannon Snyder is amazing at Hugh Salon. I'm so grateful for her. So, so grateful. So I want to talk about Tony Robbins for a minute. I have a friend, Dan Hines, that actually went to one of his events and walked on fire.
Yeah, I've got several friends who've done
Yeah. So the thing I want to say about Tony Robbins, and it's going to be in one of my next talks, I talk to people about affirmations and stuff and gratitude. But if you go beyond that and incorporate your body in it, it makes it stick. So if you are like running or something or walking briskly, as you're doing it, your body is in a state of awareness. It's in a state of excitement and enthusiasm. And you're holding your shoulders up. You say affirmations or prayers or verses while doing that, it is like level up.
Absolutely.
It's next level stuff. And I want to incorporate that in my next talk because I believe with all my mind, heart, soul, and body. I've seen it true in my own life. And I just love that he talks about that a lot. He talks about the state that you are in. If you are sad or lonely or whatever, change the way your body feels.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I put on worship music, dance around the house.
Yes.
Put the headphones in and not listen to a podcast or whatever. I want to listen to some upbeat music, do all that before you're, about to have a talk or anything that or make phone calls or do whatever for your business or whatever it takes. Literally stand up, do some jumping jacks, like play some really music. Your mood has to change. Get a really, really good playlist, with the songs that are going to make you. I mean, mine's Bruno Mars. I was doing it the other day where I was like, I need some more energy today. And it makes a difference. So Tony Robbins is so good at that.
He's so good at that. And what I love too about Tony Robbins, and this is such a beautiful lesson, and this is one of the things I spoke on yesterday when I spoke on the power of grace in our lives. And that I talked about the 3 truths that I leave behind, like Lewis Howes talks about. And one of mine was grace, unreasonable grace. There's that word unreasonable again. So, because you really can't have it if you don't give it away. You don't get to experience the level of grace. And where was I even going with that? Oh, I know. Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins grew up in a very abusive situation.
Yes,
his mother was just
with his story.
crazy and abusive. But instead of belittling her or just throwing shade at her, he said, because of that, I am here.
Right.
Because of that. He took that which was the worst thing that had happened to him, and it's become the thing that has taught him to give so much to the world. That man gives away probably more food in America.
I know. I love that that's his mission.
Y'all, Jody and I, clearly
never run out of things to talk about.
Clearly, we need one of those little egg timers or something or whatever, because we have a hard time. We get excited and everything. So we've talked about a lot of books. We've talked about a lot of things. We have this has been a very exciting time together. And we'll do it again together. And thank you so much for being such a promoter of my book and being so excited. Jody, thank you so much for being a promoter of my book. I just appreciate it so much. And the story that they don't know is that I was writing another book. I had another book in progress about using all my love notes and doing a 365-day book, an inspirational book. And someone told me they thought that didn't make sense. And I put it in a corner. Just stop writing it. And I shared with you that I was a little nervous about my book and, intimidated about doing it. And you said, listen, why don't you, and I think that's in my story about you at the end, this is low-hanging fruit. This is maybe not exactly how you said it, but you said, you've already written your affirmations. Pick your affirmations that you want to do a book about and do a book of your affirmations. That way, you gave me a vision too. See, this is that state, that Tony Robbins state. You said that way, when you stand at the Women's Symposium next year, and I did it.
Yeah.
You can open up that book and say, turn to page 51 and you can read your affirmation book. And that is what I did this year.
You did.
I think it was page 118.
You did it. You did.
Isn't that cool? So that's the story behind that. So thank you so much for doing that for me.
And I'll just have to say, I didn't know that this person had said to you that the first book that I thought you were writing, that basically nobody wanted to read it, or why would you do that or whatever. And that made me so mad, because you can have a million people tell you, write it, we love it, read it, all the different things. And you let one person speak death, because that's speaking death. It was speaking death to your dream. It was, putting that negativity and that doubt planted a seed of doubt that grew and grew and grew.
Yeah.
And that, again, that comes from the enemy. Although I guarantee you that person probably did not intentionally do it to shut you down and whatever.
She's a good person.
Have to be careful the words that we speak to others, because we don't, that made me mad, but it also devastated me too. But it's a story that you are now keeping going. But, thank you, because we talk about confidence, and you have confidence. We all have confidence. But I think that so many people have people speak things to them that we replay over and over and over and over, that shrink us and make us small. And that's what I said in the first, part of this was, there's nothing holy in hiding, and you are not hiding anymore. I'm not going to let you, as your friend, I'm not letting you be small, hiding, or anything like that, because the world not only needs what you have, but they love it. Every single person that's bought this book loves it.
Yeah, it's been really sweet. It's been a sweet reception. But I'll tell you, before we go today, I want to tell you a little quick story about, you know this about me, and it shocks people to know that I get really frightful when I speak. And the 100 times that I've spoken, maybe 3 times I walk off the stage and feel like I did a good job. I'm just being very transparent with you. But for whatever reason, the last 3 times I've spoken, I've felt even though I'm scared prior to, I walk off the stage proud, even though I might leave out some things and maybe mess up a little bit. But overall, I feel very proud of what I've accomplished. And that's what I felt yesterday. And I remember leaving and started crying and going, God, I think I can do this. I think I could do this for my life. And I remember thinking that John Acuff always says that nothing makes him more proud than when the people that have asked him to speak are happy that they asked him to speak. They feel, and that's the way I felt yesterday. Pam was so excited that she'd chosen me. And I was so proud that Mandy was so proud. So I found myself crying because I knew I'd make them proud. So that was that little girl in me that wants to make somebody proud. Some things never go away. So my point in all of that is this. Don't hide your dreams. Be true to who you are. And if you have a naysayer, don't listen. John Gordon, who wrote The Energy Bus, which is still a bestseller after 20 plus years, was rejected, I want to say 38 times. You hear me? 38 times. So don't listen to rejection. Just let that be. Maybe you need to go down another path. Maybe it just means you try a little harder. Maybe it just means you need to fall into the arms of grace and just do it. Jody, thank you so much for being here today. Do you have any anything else you need to add today that we've forgotten? Oh, I do need to thank a couple of people before I leave too.
Just that if God puts that on your heart, like if it is ordained by him, it will be seen through.
Mm,
And you're seeing it through.
I'm seeing it through.
And you're living that purpose that he has for your life. And that's why I believe you're not having those nerves anymore. You shouldn't have the nerves.
I still have the nerves before I get up there.
Your nerves are ridiculous because you are such a great speaker. And I know, and I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. It's like, get over it. Get over it. I mean, when all the you asked this on Facebook the other day and everybody was answering, I was like, wrong, 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 wrong. It's the enemy trying to create doubt. So you shrink. So you waste so much time. How much time is wasted? Of you having fear.
I try not to waste it.
And doubt and fear and doubt.
I usually turn it around pretty quick. I mean, I have it, but I turn it around.
But you see, it's getting better and better and better because you're speaking to it and you're like, you know what? God's given you the words.
Yeah.
You pray and you do all those things. But how many times have you wasted that?
I know.
I feel like this is your time.
It is my time.
And
I said that 67 was my year. I had a feeling. I remember I told you that I said, there's something about this 67th year of mine.
Yeah.
I am just getting started. I am fired up. I am ready for this final career. I'm still doing the other stuff too, but this is my career and I'm loving it. And
at 67.
I know. I'm just getting started. I'm just getting warmed up. So, and speaking of getting warmed up, I really have to thank some people because I do this cute little thing called Shore House Happy. Shore House Furniture is one of my sweet sponsors. And I do this little thing called Shore House Happy where I just talk about something happy and fun. And, it's called Shore House Happy. So I think that's a lot of fun. And I have to say, if you do want my books and some of my little swag items, they're so darling. Aren't my swag items cute?
So cute. I want it all.
Thanks to Katie Hughes, though. Yeah. Katie Hughes is the way I can brag on it because I didn't create it. Katie Hughes did. But you can get those things at Something's Cooking along with. Have you had dinner? Have you ever eaten at Something's Cooking yet?
I haven't had dinner there, but I've eaten lunch there several times.
Oh, my gosh.
It's my favorite place to eat.
Oh, my gosh.
Downtown.
Their beet salad.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I know.
French onion soup.
We're going to have lunch there.
Okay, we're gonna get a date. We're gonna look at the calendar. Yes, they're so amazing. And I've got it. This is the final season of Baytax. Baytax is somebody who's been with me quite a while actually. I think since the beginning. And they wanted to get their stuff kicked off, and they've done that now. And they taught me about cost segregation. They've taught me about ERC credits, and I've got some of that. Praise the Lord. And I really want to thank them for being so true blue to me. I just love them so much. And of course, Gypsy Willow. I mean, I can't say enough about Gypsy Willow. They are so good to me. They're in downtown St. Andrews, down the street from one of my favorite ice cream places in the world. They're not a sponsor, but they should be. Drew's Ice Cream. You hear that, Drew's Ice Cream? Speaking of people that want to be sponsors, Lisa and Med Spa is the reason why I have fairly tight skin. Not to say that I use Botox, but I do. I love them. They're amazing. I also use that eye stuff to make your eyelashes longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff. They're great. I also get IVs there if I'm not feeling great.
Okay.
They give me IVs and stuff. Yeah. They're kind of like my doctor right now since I don't have a doctor because I'm healthy. You only need one. So, but the one thing I want to say before I leave is we're coming to the end of this season. And if you would like to be a sponsor, please reach out to me. I do the podcast, which is evergreen material. Ashley will give me all the stats and I'll give them to you why podcasting is better than regular commercials. Because guess what? You don't pay for 1 month, 2 months of commercials. Once it's there forever.
Oh, that's true.
And this is what's been happening. Ashley told me this too. Ashley tells me everything because I don't know this stuff. That when I did my book, Joy is My Favorite Color with all my affirmations, people went back and started listening to and watching my affirmations series again. So they went.
Don't you love that you can track all that? That's so cool.
I know. She can track
but
it.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Marshawn Evans Daniels, that we talked about, like when I discovered her and all her Believing Bigger and everything else, I was like, Googled her name and went to her YouTube and I watched every single thing that I could watch.
Okay.
So that's when people are discovering you. They're going back and they're watching.
I'm going to go back and get that book and do it again, that 100 Days of that's just amazing book. So y'all, we could go on and we're kind of like,
Thank you for having me.
Go listen to Tyler and Jen Hatmaker because they get in trouble for this too. The producers come on and go, you've got to stop it, y'all. Nobody wants to listen to y'all for 10.5 hours. It's time to be done. So you know what? I guess we're going to have to do it again. But thank you so much. And
You're
this was
welcome. Thank you
part
for having
2.
me. I love it.
And you know what? You don't have to go, you can listen to these out of order. You don't have to do part 1, then part 2. Just listen to them any way you want to, just like my book. Any order, doesn't matter. And Jody, I want you to take us out. What in the world did I say to everybody before I leave?
Be sweet, y'all.